Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed dinner and you are enjoying Lisbon as well. I have the great honor to introduce Professor Tetsuro Matsuzawa. He's a distinguished professor at the Institute of Advanced Study at the Kyoto University and the General Director of the Japan Monkey Center, and also the editor-in-chief in Primate, and also a member of the editorial board in other journals, such as International Journal of Primates and also Animal Cognition. His main research interests include chimpanzee intelligence, both in the wild and in laboratory. The laboratory work is known by the APIA project, and has been conducted since 1976 at the Primate Research Institute of Kyoto University. The fieldwork has been conducted since 1986 and was initially focused on tool use in chimpanzees, in Bosu and Nimba. He published journal papers and books such as Primate Origins of Human Cognition and Behavior, Cognitive Development in Chimpanzees, The Chimpanzees of Bosu and Nimba, and others. Tetsuro Matsuzawa is also a recipient of several awards, such as the Prince Shishibu Memorial Award for Science in 1991, the Jane Goodall Award 2001, between others. Also, Portugal wants to thank Professor Tetsuro Matsuzawa for investing in primatology through the Claudia Souza Memorial Fund, allowing every year a Portuguese student go to Japan for 3 months. Finally, I would like to thank Fundação Oriente for their kind support on the flight of Professor Tetsuro Matsuzawa. And please find some more information on your pack. You have some flyers of Fundação Oriente. And please feel free to visit. So, welcome, Professor Tetsuro Matsuzawa.
Thank you, Daniela. It's my great pleasure and honor to be here to talk about my study on chimpanzees. I put the title Imagination and Sharing, Human Mind Viewed from the Study of Chimpanzees. This is plant food. So in the morning session, you have the opportunity to about plant food. It's like this. It means hello, and to the long distance, 501 kilometers away, so the chimpanzee reply like, consists of 4 parts, according to Calouste Gulbenkian. Introduction, build up, crescendo, and climax, and coda. So I want to follow chimpanzee way to talk about my study on chimpanzees. So the first part is introduction. Language is based on imagination. I think many of you agree with it. And it is coming from my laboratory work. Laboratory work is named APIA project that started in November 10, 1977, when she arrived Primate Research Institute at the age of 1 year old. So this is Primate Research Institute, 15 meters high climbing frames, and a lot of vegetation. So this is the current situation of the cognitive study in the Primate Research Institute. So from the outdoor compound, the chimpanzee can get into the huge cage. From the chimpanzee viewpoint, you can see the 4th floor, 4 stories level. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 entrance to the small room called booth, testing booth. So whenever you want, you may come to the booth to participate in the cognitive study And the task is programmed by the researcher. And this is about number task, touch 1 and 4, touch 2, 7, 9, to get a reward. The reward is 8 millimeter cube of apple. That is exactly the same as the fruit in Africa. So we simulate their way of life in their natural habitat. Whenever you want, you may quit. Stop. Then the other chimpanzee take over that position. And every single chimpanzee has a different level of cognitive performance. So we utilize video camera to identify the face. So automatic face recognition to know who is in front of the computer. So this is our system at the moment. Okay, IE project is one of the ape language studies in 1960s, 70s. Our case, we try to teach what we call lexigrams, the letters. So this is the original setting in 1982. So right from the beginning, we use the computer. And this is an example from the keyboard to touch screen. And this is the example of color coding, color naming. The task is as follows. White goes to this letter. Green goes to this letter. Brown goes to this letter. Purple. Okay? And the reverse. So pink. So she decoded the letter into the corresponding color, brown. Red. So it's very easy for Japanese. Green. And gray. Yeah? So red is coded to lexigram, so lozenge and horizontal line. That means red in chimpanzee language. And the letter bottom in Japanese means red. So my chimpanzee learned the dual system. So two-letter system. Chimpanzee lexigram and also Japanese letter, because Japanese letter easy for us to understand. Lexigrams difficult for us to understand. So, and based on this dual system, two visual languages, you can do the Stroop test. So chimpanzee touch, red, red to red, letter to letter, yellow to yellow, letter to letter, and red to red, letter to color, green to green, letter to letter, red, go to red to yellow, okay, again, touch yellow, red, go to red to yellow. Because she knows the meaning, okay, the third one. It's a yellow painted, but the meaning is red. So go to red, but stop. Decode the meaning, but go to the sensation color, yellow. So it's very clear because of Stroop test, chimpanzee acquired the meaning of the language. So during my 4 decades of the study, don't hesitate to come to the chairs, okay? The most striking finding is photographic memory of young chimpanzees. It's a knowledge-based memory test. So first, you have to teach chimpanzees the knowledge of integer ordinal number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? We started to teach at the age of 4, 3 young chimpanzees, and 6 months was good enough to learn the sequence of 1 through 9. Based on this knowledge, a year later, we did the memory test. The memory test is exactly the same thing, 9 numerals, touch 1, but at the moment of you touch 1, the other numerals, 2 to 9, turn to white rectangles. You have to touch where 2 was, where 3 was, where 4 was. Okay? I explain to you, so you try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? After touch 1, the other's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't worry, you cannot do it. Only chimpanzee can do it. Well, the number is used for the cardinal number, counting items. Like this is counting white dots, 7. How many numbers? 5. How many dots? 1. How many dots? 6. Okay? So this is the situation of the everyday basis. So each day chimpanzee come to the booth. In the morning session, I do test Ai chimpanzee and the son Ayumu, both. Ayumu has learned the order of numerals, 1 to 9, and then 1 to 19, and 0 to 19, and now 0 to 35. So a really amazing chimpanzee we have, and we tested the working memory, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah? So slow motion, touch 1, the others masked, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And based on this kind of finding of training, color naming, and training number, I postulated the cognitive trade-off hypothesis. The common ancestor may have this kind of photographic memory, but we lost it in the course of human evolution. And in return, we got the power of language. And the cognitive trade-off hypothesis is featured in YouTube. So just go to YouTube and 2 words, Matsuzawa trade-off, then you can get it. And the day before yesterday, I checked, it is 12 million access from last December. So please try to see it. And interestingly, there are among 12 million, there are 11,000 people are dislike. That is about 0.1%. Those people, they really don't like to see chimpanzees are better than humans. So I invented a further test to prove what we have found. So this is 7 numerals. 2 numerals are missing. Let me try. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4 and 9 are missing. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 6 are missing. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 5 and 8 are missing. You can do it because the numerals are there. So humans and chimpanzees are the same. But how about the memory task? Only 0.2 seconds, 7 numerals appear. Can you remember? Okay, you try. Oops, sorry. this one. 0.2 seconds. You recognize numerals appeared, but difficult. One, let me try, okay? 1, 2, 3. I don't know. 3, 4, 5. Difficult. Oh my God. So I tested my students, all Kyoto University students, very bright students, but their performance was 0. So accuracy was 0. So it's not a matter of training. It's impossible for humans. And one day, there was, so you move the 7 numerals masking task, a memory task, but he needs a concentration. He lost his concentration because sound in the outside, he lost. But 10 seconds later, he can do it. So very instantaneous memory, and it lasts at least for 10 seconds. So this is our finding. Let me conclude this introductory part. Chimpanzee love to draw, chimpanzee drawing. If you show the photograph, chimpanzee draws a face. If you show the photograph of face, chimpanzee draw eyes and mouth. But if you put this photograph into the sketch and free drawing, this is free drawing for the photo, you can see eyes and mouth. But in this case, chimpanzee draw only outer contour of the face. Okay, do I make myself clear? Photo and sketch. So this is chimpanzee way, because there are facial contour. Only humans 3 years old start to do like this. Exactly the same sketch. This is chimpanzee, this is human. Chimpanzee, human, chimpanzee. Completely different. So humans love to put eyes in the blank space because of imagination. They can imagine. From the face, this is chimpanzee. Chimpanzee look at what is present. We look at something missing, what is absent. So this is chimpanzee way of thinking, and this is human way of thinking. So 7 chimpanzees, no exception. And 60 human children, more than 3 years old, yes. Let me proceed to the second part, build up. Language in the world chimpanzees, maybe yes, maybe not. So, so this part is based on my field work. So I really want to know how those intelligences utilized in their natural habitat, not in the laboratory, in their natural habitat. How do they live? So since 1986, every year, December, January, I go to Bosu, Guinea, West Africa, to study wild chimpanzees. So 33 years. And this is a place. So small hill covered by the beautiful trees. This is the place of chimpanzee, Bosu chimpanzee. And you can see the field station. So this is Kyoto University field station. Nearby it's a large village. So in other words, chimpanzees live in the small forest patches nearby the village. Bosu chimpanzee is well known to use a pair of stones as a tool. So hammer, anvil, 2 stones together to crack open hard shell oil palm nut to get the edible part called kernel. This is unique culture, only one in Africa. 2 mobile stones and nut cracking, that is Bosu. Just like Japanese use chopstick to eat sashimi, But it does not mean all humankind use a pair of sticks as tool to eat raw fish. So every ethnic group, it has own culture. So just like chimpanzees. So in my way is field experiment. To know the details, I set up the outdoor laboratory. This is laboratory. Why laboratory? Because we are here. So we are waiting for the chimpanzees, and this is the laboratory. So outdoor laboratory, and we are here with 3 video cameras. So this is, it's like a theater. So you wait, and chimpanzee pass, and it's us to provide stones and nuts. So we can manipulate the availability of stones and nuts. And this is the outcome. So you can see the detail of the behavior, nut-cracking behavior of, oh, she is middle-aged, very beautiful lady. And the stones are marked 891. So which stone is preferred by which chimpanzee? And she's the left-hander. So we found 100% hand preference in chimpanzees. So the other chimpanzee can do it, but not the youngsters. So I wanted to know the cognitive development. When they acquire this kind of complex action. So I'm very much interested in action grammar. It's difficult for 3.5. But what does she do? So she approached to the nearby adult. I don't know why so close, very close distance. Interestingly, no teaching, no active teaching. Chimpanzee, no active teaching. And going back to the original place, and she tried to do it by herself. So this is chimpanzee way of learning, what I named education by master apprenticeship. There is education, there is learning, but that is very unique because of the mothers and adults show the model. And the infants has a very strong motivation to make a copy. And the mother and adults are highly tolerant to the youngsters. Those set is called education by master apprenticeship. And the most recent achievement, September 4, our Science Advances, we published a paper about deep learning of chimpanzee face recognition from the videos in the world, because since 1987, we accumulated the videos. And from 1988, specific point of this place. Okay. So it's a fixed point, fixed interval, sampling, recording of the behavior. So original video is like this. It's a 5 times speed up. Now deep learning, the automatically the face detection. Where is the face? So red square. And after giving the name to the deep learning model, now the deep learning AI automatically give the name tag to the face. So input is 50 hours videotape and automatically processed, and 10 million face images were processed by the computer. Coming newcomer, and we put the name. So it's the first example of the application of AI, deep learning, to the fieldwork. So now the fieldwork is going to the era of using artificial intelligence. So face detection and face tracks and identity recognition resulted in the very usual social network analysis, because in one frame, the same two individuals, A and B together, means intimate. In one frame, A and B are not at the same time, means not intimate. So just based on 10 million face images, you can calculate it. The social network in 2000, 2004, 2008, and 2012. So 2012, the bottom right is very impressive. Two chimpanzees named YO, means yo, and VL, Velu, two old ladies separated from the main cluster of the society. This is two females. Two old ladies who have no children at all at that point live together in the community. Again, this was fully automatic processing by the computer. It's me who filmed all those video clips in the assistance with my students, but it was deep learning model analyzed the social network to know the importance of the society. In this chimpanzee society, the third topic is language is for sharing. That is my conclusion. What is for? Language is for what? Is for active sharing. This part is based on what I call participant observation. I participate everyday life of chimpanzee based on the parallel effort of laboratory work and field work, putting things together to create a new paradigm, what I call participant observation. It's a semi-natural community of 12 chimpanzees in the Primate Research Institute in enriched environment. Then I participate in the daily life. It is completely different from the Western way of approach. To compare humans and chimpanzees almost 100 years, psychologists did in the West. That is cross-fostering. Take a baby chimpanzee away from the mother, put into human environment. But when I had the opportunity, I think it's not good. The baby chimpanzee was abandoned by the mother. And I took care of the baby chimpanzee with my daughter, of course, this way is my daughter. They look alike. But it's not good because my daughter has the parents, but the chimpanzee has no parents at all. So this kind of comparison, cross-fostering, is very bad, not scientific, not ethical anymore. You should not take the baby chimpanzee away from the mother. So when Ayu chimpanzee at the age of 22 gave the birth to her son named Ayumu, you see cord and placenta. So right after the birth, I get into the booth to take the photo and leave the baby chimpanzee to the mother. Thanks to the long-term friendship between the researcher and the mother, I can ask the mother to help me to test your kid. So this is the logic of participant observation. No need to separate the baby chimpanzee from the mother. 2005, Ayumu turned to become 5 years old. 2009, 9 years old. 2012, 2018. So this has been was already published in a book, Cognitive Development in Chimpanzees, from Springer, and this is the video version. So the baby with the mother living in a group of 12 chimpanzees. And when I test Ayu chimpanzees stacking, nesting cups, stacking blocks, so all those things is experienced by the baby chimpanzee. And when I test Ayu chimpanzee do the computer task, Ayumu joined And this is interesting. It's not 3-dimensional, it's 2-dimensional, it's flat. Because of the shade, you can see the 3-dimensional depth. And it's the same story in chimpanzee, has a strong tendency to touch to something popping up. So we introduced the computer to the chimpanzee too. But the highlight of now looking back what we have done, the highlight must be this paper, Hirata and Cherry, Role of Mothers in the Acquisition of Tool Use Behavior. So we succeeded to replicate all the learning process in the laboratory. So tool use is in the wild, but that is replicated in the laboratory. So this is mimic ant fishing in Mahale Mountains. So use what we invented, honey fishing. So through a tiny hole, you can access to the tasty honey. And mothers can do it. And the babies, they can't. So they try to. So Chloe, so we have 3 pairs of mother and infant. Oh, stolen. I and Ayumu, so in such a close distance. Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get it again. And look at mother's behavior. After licking, okay, carefully, I repeat that phrase. After licking, leftover is given. Do I make myself clear? And accumulating these days, and finally, as we have witnessed in Bosu chimpanzee, now we can see the first success of a Yumu chimpanzee, how they success. In the wild, theoretically, it's impossible to witness this kind of thing. But all the process is witnessed and recorded on the tape. So let me conclude this part. Sharing was the topic. Collaboration is in chimpanzee. All chimpanzee in PRI, Primate Research Institute, know the number. So in this case, left chimpanzee can access to 2, 3, 5, 8. Right chimpanzee can access to 1, 4, 6, 7 because 2 halves, left half of the touch panel and right half of the touch panel, blocked by the translucent glass. So you cannot touch to the others. In this situation, touch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No instruction. They can collaborate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is a little double quote trick because as a result, the 2 chimpanzees can get the reward. So if you collaborate, both of them can get the reward. In such a situation, they beautifully collaborate. But in a very simple situation of altruistic behavior, that means chimpanzee in front have the stick. Chimpanzee in the rear needs a stick. If you have the stick, you can retrieve the food that is out of reach. So that chimpanzee needs a stick. Okay, toolbox, tool set. And there is a hose and straw, the straw into the tiny hole. But another chimpanzee needs a straw. but no language, no words. So gesture, hand clapping, even hitting the wall. Finally, it was passed to the neighbor. Interesting. Translucent wall, so this chimpanzee knows what is necessary. Because finally, this chimpanzee gave the straw to the neighbor. So this chimpanzee knows that the neighbor really needs a straw to drink the water, drink the juice. But it's on demand. Such a demand, then finally give it. So altruistic behavior is very, very rare in the laboratory situation. They collaborate if they get the mutual benefit. But if it is one side, from one to the neck to the other, it's very difficult. I don't behave for you. The exception is, of course, mother and infant. Mother gives a hand to the infant. So this is the case of chimpanzees. So now I was very much interested in bonobos, the same species, same genus, different species, and even gorilla and orangutan and Japanese monkeys. So chimpanzee, mother, infant. Based on my observation in chimpanzee, mother and infant for decades in Bossu, it's easy for me to understand mother-infant relationship of bonobos in Wamba, Congo, Zaire. It's the same. Mother gives altruistic behavior to the child, to the infant. When I went to Rwanda and Burundi, Virunga volcano and Burundi, so Rwanda and Uganda, gorilla, mountain gorillas, the same. And orangutan. I came back from Borneo last week. Orangutan, the same. So mother-infant relationship is the same between chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, and orangutan. The same. Not same in humans. This is not the mother, grandmother. So as you know, grandmothering is double quote uniquely human. So we invented grandmother, not only mother and father, but also grandmother and grandfather. Grandmother stopped to take care of their own children and invest for the children's children. So I went to Cameroon to see Baka pygmy hunter-gatherer and chimpanzee and gorillas living in the same forest. So same environment to compare humans and chimpanzees and gorillas. And I recognize human is unique. Not only the grandmother, but also siblings, elder siblings take care of the younger sibling. And it's a big family. Next to me is gentleman, his grandfather. He has many children, but to the right most is the daughter, has the baby. So now he has the daughter's child, grandchild. So this kind of three-generation family live in a very humble cottage. So, and next door is next family. So family, family, family. In the case of chimpanzee, no family. There are a community of 40s, 50s, 100, even 200 individuals, but no male-female specific pair bonding. No family at all. Look at gorilla. Yes, family. Silverback male. And female and offspring, female and offspring, female and offspring. Polygamous family, but no community. The family is the community, that's all. So chimpanzee, no family but community. Gorilla, community but no family. So that was what I recognized in the comparison of humans and chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, and orangutans. Human is very unique in the society. So language is in society. Let me cool down. So the final part. So phylogeny of primates. If you go back to Japanese monkey, we share the common ancestor 30 million years ago. So you can go trace back human evolution. 5-6 million years ago, chimpanzees, by compare with gorillas, going back to 8 million years ago, and orangutan 12 million years ago, but Japanese monkey 30 million years ago. Now my question, what about 40, 50, 60 million years ago? What had happened? So that is the main reason. Now I'm focusing on common ancestor of mammals about 60 million years ago. No primatologists have got this kind of idea. So primatologist means studying primates. But now I'm very free, so I'm focusing on horse. So I want to know the prehistory of primate evolution. Why horse? Because so many people love horse. Second, no one has ever done horse study, horse mind. So it's a mimic of chimpanzee project. So first from touch panel. So touch large disk, which is large, left. So my colleague Tomonaga developed this apparatus, touch to the right. So it was very easy. So horse was much, much smarter than I have expected. This is my colleague Tomonaga, my successor in the Primate Research Institute. So this is a touch panel. Now numerosity, as I have told you, exactly the mimic of chimpanzee project. So which is more? And fully automated dispensing system, and this is more. And more. And you may say this is not the number, but the density. So, okay, so this is a control. So you have to count the number of disks, number of dots only. Okay. And shape, discrimination of the letters, just like chimpanzees. And chimpanzees and horses and dolphins, we compare the same shape perception. And even more, concept of horse. So horse has to touch the photograph of horse, regardless of the choice alternatives pitted against to it. So here in Portugal, so my focus in the fieldwork is Garano horse in Portugal. So I came here in 2015 to look for the best field site. So finding the field site is most important point for any kind of field work. So to start the field, I think I'm very good at doing this kind of thing. And I pinpointed near Porto, Serra d'Alga, and it is a growing number of scholars joined into this endeavor. And based on primatology, first is face recognition. So primatologists are very good at to discriminate 208 forces. We gave the name to each individual. And use drone. This is the first case of fieldwork utilizing drone. And July, I went to Mongolia. Horse is in Mongol. So I went to Mongolia. Mongolia is 4 times larger than Japan. Mongolia, the area is just corresponding to Portugal, Spain. Portugal, Spain, France, maybe Germany. And I went to see Tahi, the Przewalski horse in the wild. And I stayed in the house of nomad called Ger to study horses. They have horses, cows, sheep, and goats. We are riding on the horse and chasing cows, but in the middle, that is a group of horses. So now I'm very much interested in horse society. And so surprised. Horse society is exactly the same as gorillas. Gorilla silverback is Azarga, very beautiful male stallion. He is with female and offspring, female and offspring, female and offspring, big family, the same. I'm so amazed to know horse, gorilla, the same. So from primatology to echinology, Echus is the name of the horse. Not many people recognize horse family is only one family, one genus. Horse is horse, very unique creature. One family, one genus, and 3 species, horse, zebra, donkeys, and some others. So I really want to focus on horse to have the wider perspective to know primate evolution, and in primate, how we evolved human evolution. And of course, this kind of study was collaborated by many collaborators and chimpanzees in captivity and in the wild. Thank you for your attention.